Welcome back to the preview of Size. My name is Luke Matthews, this is Paul Ruffles, and today we're going to preview October. So we're going to start October with something that could easily become a winter essential, and it's the Stan Smith by Adidas. I'm sure some of you are aware, but not all of it. The Stan Smith has not always been the Stan Smith. It was originally developed and worn by French tennis player Robert Ayer in the late 60s, and Stan's name wasn't actually put onto it till the early 70s. And Stan wore it himself in 1971, where he won the US Open and the Davis Cup with the US team.
And then in '72, he also won our competition in Wimbledon. With these, what we've done is, so we all know the classic, iconic Stan Smith in its white iteration. So starting with the sole, instead of the normal white sole or off-white sole, we've added the gum sole to give it that more winter feel. And then on the upper, retaining that real simple but beautiful aesthetic that the Stan Smith has obviously become known for. We've just changed up the materials and gone for a sort of really premium and wintry feel that will get worn in and get worn in really well over time.
So moving on, we've got the next instalment of the recut series of Reebok, and it's the London Runner.
So you might have already seen earlier this year, the London was reintroduced into the line in this sort of classic makeup. And those of you will know, this is the Paris colourway applied to the original London. To follow on and keep the ongoing series with the Reebok Recut, we've now done our own take on this classic running silhouette.
So in the current climate of technical running shoes and performance running shoes we have at the minute, this looks a little bit out of place, but in 1984 when this shoe first came out, it was actually the pinnacle of running shoes at the time. I mean, this shoe was worn by Steve Jones in the Chicago Marathon. He broke the world record whilst wearing this shoe. And I mean, it's amazing to think that now what they're running in compared to that.
And I think this is what we're seeing again in the market. We're seeing a desire for this sort of silhouette against the sort of other end of the spectrum. You know, your Nomads, Yeezys, Flyknit, etc. And I think it's just an appreciation of the sort of, again, the simplistic design, but also the real cleanness of it. And I think Reebok have done a really great job with these.
So next up for October, we've got something from Nike. It's the Air Footscape New Motion. Now the Footscape is something that always piques interest throughout the sneaker community, and it splits opinion really, doesn't it?
You either think they're amazing or you do think, what are those?
The first thing that you notice that's slightly different is the asymmetric lacing. So when this was implemented, it was almost, they took it down to basics and looked into the anatomy of the foot and just how the shoe itself was constructed. So the asymmetric lacing was to help the blood flow, and it was to move around the key arteries in the foot.
The Footscape, I feel, is quite synonymous with that sort of golden era of Nike design innovation that really leapt forward, starting with the Visible Air in '87, and then moving on to much other iconic shoes that are still desired and talked about really passionately today.
So on the theme of Footscape, we couldn't move on without featuring another one of the favourites, and it's the Footscape woven Chukka.
Yes, so this iteration of the Footscape is probably held in even higher esteem than the original version. I just think from its first inception, being at higher tier distribution, and also with the key partners over the years that they've worked with, who are always highly desirable, your HTMs, your Fragment, and even the Hideout in London, etc. I think the shoe's always been at that sort of pinnacle of appreciation, and the shoe always excels or stands out when they use either premium or different materials. So this is part of a bigger pack that includes other models such as the Sock Dart, but I think these probably the standout shoe, and obviously with the sort of, again, carrying that theme of the winterized materials, it should be a really good highlight for this month.
So we're going to finish October with the next instalment of the Adidas Originals Archive series, and it's the shoe that started the City series. It's the Athen.
I think the last time this was out was 2004, but this shoe was, along with the Munchen 72, was the start of that sort of long and much lauded progression of shoes over the years. So they were released originally in 1968 for the Olympics.
Athens is almost renowned and is synonymous with the Olympics, and it's the spiritual home almost, and the way that they've paid homage to that is by using the colours of the Greek flag. Over the years, this shoe has developed slightly, and the tongue's changed, the sole's changed, slightly different tweaks along the way, but the last iteration was actually part of the 2004 Olympics in Athens.
So originally, each City Series shoe was individual. I think over time, and with various reissues and different factories, as we know with Adidas and its history, they've made them in various countries from France, Yugoslavia and Germany. They started to come down to like 2 or 3 versions, but this is, as you said, the closest one, 2004, and one of the iconic City profiles. And so with the City Series shoes, or many of the City Series shoes, it's got that classic old and mild sole, which is, you know, if you own a pair of Malmo, you'll see it's the same thing, and it's how they started to merge some of the models together over the years.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our YouTube channel just to keep up to date with everything we've got going on. And in the meantime, there's always the side social channels. We'll see you next month.